Well, good afternoon. Just going to very quickly run through these 56 chords. These are the 56 different types of chord that there are in music. And I've put them all as C chords. Of course, there are 12 different letter names in music. Therefore, there are 12 times these different chords. But these are different types of chords. And we will only be going through the chords in their root position, that is to say with the note of C as the bass note. So that's not counting all the possible inversions of the various chords. But this was an exercise that I was asked to do a few years back, in fact quite a long time back, by my dad. Asked me if I would list all the different types of chord. Since moving up to Scotland in '83, since discovering in particular the jazz music of Oscar Peterson and Harry Stoneham, and having the Harry Stoneham book and a few other things besides, harmony has always been of great interest to me. So here we go. Here's the what I would call the 56 different types of chord. That is the different types of chord of C. I would imagine you'll be familiar with most of these. If you've ever played music or listened to music, then this should be fairly straightforward. You just make sure everything's working as it should be. Hopefully it is. Yes, that's looking pretty good. So let's crack on then and run through. I've got my keyboard ready here. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I will quickly monitor as we go through. Keyboard ready here. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I will quickly monitor as we go through. Keyboard ready here. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I will quickly monitor as we go through. Keyboard ready here. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I will quickly monitor as we go through. Well, that's getting worse and worse. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that the sound is coming through. The first chord here is the chord of C, which is made up of C, G, C, and E. Now, as long as you've got that combination of notes, we have a C chord. C major, usually just left as capital C. Everybody knows what that is. C minor, C, G, C, E flat. Next we have C diminished. I've used enharmonics. In theory, this note should be a diminished fifth above C, which would make it a G flat. But of course, G flat is exactly the same as F sharp, so we'll call it F sharp. So C, F sharp, or G flat. C and E flat will give us the C diminished. And the last of our regular triads, C augmented, C, G sharp, C and D. So that's our regular triads. Now moving on to the sixth, C6, C, G, A, C, and E. Same chord, but with the added ninth. Next, C with an added second, C, G, C, D, and G. And lastly, along this line, C major seventh, C, G, B, C, and E. Moving on to our next line here. C major 7th with an added 13th. Because of the 7th being present here, the B, the A, which was the 6th in our previous chords, A was the note that made the 6th, but now because the 7th is in place, A becomes the 13th. So we've got C, G, B, C, E, and A. C major 7th, added 13th. C major 9th, C, G, B, D, and E. C dominant 7th, to give it its full title. C 7th, C, G, B flat, C, and D. C, G, B flat, D, and E make up the chord of C 9th. One of our all-time favorites, C 13th, C, B flat, E, and A. Next, we're back to some 6th chords, C minor 6th, C, G, A, C, E flat, and a C minor 6th with an added 9th, C, G, A, D, E flat, G. Moving on, next row, C minor with the added 9th, C, G, D, E flat, G. A popular chord, C minor 7th, C, G, B flat, C, E flat. Next, C minor 7th, add 11, the So What chord, made famous by Bill Evans, who played alongside Miles Davis in recording the track So What. And the notes of this chord, the Bill Evans version, C, F, B flat, E flat, G. And of course, in So What, we're used to the sound going from the tone above. Next chord, C minor 7th with an added 13th. So C, G, B flat, E flat, and A. Next, C minor 9th. Again, C, G, B flat, D, and E flat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just put that to one side. Thank you very much. Next, we've got C minor 11th. C, E flat, G, B flat, D, F. That's a nice chord, isn't it? That certainly takes you somewhere else. Next, C minor with a major 7th. You have to bear in mind, I think, with some of these chords, that these are being taken out of context. You really would need to hear them in a chord progression to really appreciate the beauty of some of these. This one is a bit clashy. Next, C minor 9th with the major 7th. C, G, B, D, E flat, G. Moving on to our next row. This often referred to as the C half diminished. We've got, I say, strictly speaking, because it's a flattened 5th, that note there shouldn't be an F sharp, it should be a G flat. So, okay, I've taken the liberty of using the enharmonic change. So we've got C, F sharp, B flat, C, and E flat. Next, C minor ninth with the flattened fifth. Same three left-hand notes: C, F sharp, B flat, D and E flat. C minor 11th with the flattened fifth. C, E flat, F sharp, B flat, D and F. Some of these will sound a bit quite good for horror movies. Here's the full C diminished 7th. We've got C, A, E flat, F sharp. C diminished with the major 7th. So C, A, E flat, F sharp with B. Next, a much more familiar couple of chords: C sus 2, C G, C F G, and the C 7th sus 2. Sorry, sus 4 on this occasion. Sorry, sus 4, C sus 4. We'll get on to the others later on. So C sus 4 and C 7th sus 4, C B flat, C F and G. C9 with the suspended or added fourth. So we've got C, B flat, D, F and G. C 13th with the suspended fourth. C, G, B flat, D, F, A. Used in certainly in 10 kilometers to Finestrino. C major 7th with the flattened 5th. C, B, C, E, F sharp. C major 7th with the raised 5th. C, B, C, E, G sharp. C major 7th with a raised 11th. Yep. So we've got C, G, B, E, F sharp. C major 9th, sharp 11. So we're really just adding the D to this chord. So C, G, B, D, E, F sharp. C, G, B. Next row, C major 13th with the sharpened 11th. C, G, B with D, E, F sharp, A. C 7th with the lowered 5th. C, B flat, C, E, F sharp. C 9th with the flattened 5th. C, B flat, D, E, F sharp. And quite a common one here. C 7th, augmented 5th. C, B flat, C, E, G sharp. C 9th with the augmented 5th. C, B flat, D, E, G sharp. And, oh yes, very popular one here. C 7th with the flattened 9th. C, B flat, C sharp, E and G. Moving on. what's sometimes referred to as the Jimi Hendrix chord, although in the case of Jimi Hendrix, it's the E7 sharp 9. And some people prefer to call it C7 flat 10, which is, strictly speaking, what I've written there, the flattened 10th. But anyway, C, E, B flat, and E flat. Probably better if we put the bass down. Okay, okay. Thank you very much, big dog. Next, C7th with a lowered fifth and the lowered ninth. So we've got the F sharp there, and we've got the yes, we've got the C sharp. Strictly speaking, the D flat, but C, F sharp, B flat, C sharp, E. Next, C7th with the augmented fifth and a raised ninth. So we've got C, E, G sharp, B flat, and E flat. C. That's nice. I say some of these sound really good, even taken out of context. C7th, augmented fifth, but with the lowered ninth. So C, G sharp, B flat, C sharp, and E. C7, sharpened 11th. So we've got C, G, E flat, E, and F sharp. Next, actually, I've just thought that chord there. Recognise that straight away from Nick Drake's Riverman. Later on in Riverman, he uses that chord. Next, C9 with the raised 11th. C, E, G, B flat, D, and F sharp. And final row, and I've tried to give myself a bit more space here. So at the bottom here, we've got C, E, G, B flat, C sharp, and F sharp. C, E, G, B flat, C sharp, F sharp. C7th, lowered ninth, raised 11th. Next, C7th, augmented ninth, sharpened 11th. Again, C, E, G, B flat with E flat and F sharp. C13th with the flattened fifth. So C, F sharp, B flat, E, and A. C13th, once again with the flattened ninth. So C, B flat, C sharp, E, A. C13th with a raised 11th. C, B flat, E, F sharp, A. C7th, suspended with the flattened ninth. C, G, B flat, C sharp, F. C7th, 13th. And of course, with the flattened ninth. So that should be a C sharp there. So I managed to miss that one. Not to worry. C, F, B flat, C sharp, F, A. C, F, B flat. And C major 7th, suspended, suspension, flat and fifth. C, F sharp, B natural, C and F. Start again. C, F sharp, B, C, F. Okie dokie. So there we have, let's say, a fine collection of chords. So yeah, just to explain, earlier on we had the added second, or sometimes called the suspended second. Down here we had the suspended fourths. Of course, the notes of, in this case, D, the note that makes the added second, in higher chords, that note of D becomes the ninth, because it's counted as being an octave plus one. Likewise, the sus4 note here, the F, in higher chords is considered to be the 11th. Okay, wonder if I've missed any. For a while I always thought there were 58, but I've only come up with 56 there. Maybe my memory has started to slow down and I can only think of 56. Anyway, there we go. There's our 56 different types of C chord. Yes, tell that from John. Yes, I think for these chords, if you were going to use all 56, it would be a correct question of using them in lots and lots of different genres of music. Certainly jazz uses a lot of those. Then there's other chords there that we don't tend to use so much in the jazz. Anyway, hope that was a bit of fun and possibly informative. If anybody wants the PDF of the sheet that I've made up, then you can always just give us a shout and I can get that to you. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.